So earlier today, I saw the Minecraft movie with my friends, and I certainly have some stories to share with this one. Hi, my name is Nathan. I talk about a lot of movies on this channel, and down below in the comment section, share what you thought of the Minecraft movie. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Over on my channel, there's more reviews, content like this. Check those out once this video is over. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button. Be sure to subscribe because that really does help a lot. And with that said, we'll just get straight into the review talking about the Minecraft movie. Typically, I split up my reviews into good and bad, but I'm kind of just going to do a full one-take thought here. When I just have a certain thought in my head where I just, sometimes this is the type of movie I can't just categorize between good and bad. And so, with the Minecraft movie, this is a very tricky one for me to actually score the way I do at the end of most of my reviews. Let me just give you a point of reference where I am with Minecraft. I have played Minecraft. I played it a lot growing up. I don't know that I was very good at it growing up, but I did indeed play it. I know the world, and just recently, actually, in preparation for this movie, I felt like I needed to expand, or not really expand, but re-explore the world of Minecraft as I hadn't played it in 5+ years. So what I did was that I got on my old iPad and I replayed a bunch of Minecraft, and I would say I was getting pretty good at it because, like, I was relearning the techniques of the survival and all that. I know the world of Minecraft that's really what I'm trying to say here. And that's just my experience with Minecraft. But even with the trailers for this movie, all the internet memes, everything like that, they kind of made this movie look like an absolute joke, which it kind of is. But let me tell you this when I say this. I saw this movie today at a 12:15 showing with a bunch of my friends from high school, from the school I go to. Went out to the theater, saw this movie in a packed theater, mostly filled with kids my age, and that was my theater experience watching the movie. And let me tell you, this was one of the best movie theater experiences I have ever had. And maybe that plays into, I think certainly that plays into how I score this movie by the end of this video. But this was just a fantastic theater experience where everybody in there was hyped to see an internet meme on the big screen, and that is exactly what happened. There are 20+ instances, at least, where I could think of that the theater absolutely gave out some sort of massive reaction, whether that be just the applause, whether that be, people just like in shock of like the internet memes and like bursting out in laughter and applause and all that. There are 20+ instances of the theater just absolutely going bananas for this movie. And so that's a very fun way to watch a movie, especially that has been memed so many times on the internet. And I think very certainly, like I said, the theater experience elevated my enjoyment of the film. Had I watched this movie at home, in this very bedroom, at home, and just sat down and watched it, I do not think that is the same experience that I'm watching it in the theater. So, if I had seen it at home, I feel like I would have scored this movie a D or a D- or something like that. But because of this theater experience, my score, I'm sure, will be much higher up as I kind of deliberate all my thoughts here. As for the movie itself, is the movie good? No, it is not. It is not a good movie on a filmmaking standpoint. It's a bad movie, but it's a very fun bad movie. And what I mean by that is I think this is the first movie I've ever seen that I know is bad, but I enjoy it. It is not like a so bad it's good movie. Last year we got Megalopolis, which I described as so bad it's good. It's so bad it is hilarious. But it was still my bottom 10 of the year and all that because it was a bad movie. Here, this is an intentionally, it feels like an intentionally bad movie that unintentionally ends up being a really fun ride. Because what makes Megalopolis so bad it's good is that it's not trying to be a very bad laugh out loud movie, but it ends up doing that in the process. This is the type of movie that is trying to go for that laugh out loud bad movie experience, and in doing so, the entire movie has that tone. And that bad movie laugh out loud tone shows throughout the entire film. And it fits the tone of the movie that you are watching, thus making it a fun experience, an unintentionally good theater experience. And so when you're talking about the performances here, they are bad. Like, the performances are bad, where Jack Black in particular, he is the standout here because he's delivering maybe the worst performance out of these people, but the worse the performances get, the more fun it is to see them on screen. So, while the performances may be bad, they are probably the most fun performances I have seen this year. The cast are clearly having the time of their life making this movie. They are very clearly having so much fun in this Minecraft movie world, and in doing so, I think makes for a very, very entertaining adventure. And so, the fun performance, obviously, like I said, the standout is Jack Black as Steve, who, when the first trailer dropped, we were all like, that's Steve? Like, that's just Jack Black in a blue shirt. And as they started to lean into that a little bit more, he delivers every single line in his Jack Black fashion. One of the most iconic lines, I am Steve. I recorded the theater reaction, and the audio quality isn't all that good on that. You could hear me applauding, the people beside me applauding, but I tell you, the entire theater, which was packed, was absolutely going bananas for that. And with his infectious energy, he gives this performance of Steve that I don't think you could have cast any other actor to give out. If you want to make this version of Steve, Jack Black is the perfect guy to deliver all these lines. In fact, 50% of his lines, or maybe even more, are just naming Minecraft items. And it's clearly a bad performance with bad dialogue, but because of Jack Black's infectious energy, he elevates this version of Steve.
I am Steve.
Add to the mix another one that is kind of the lead of this movie, Jason Momoa as guy in a pink jacket. They call him Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, as this loser who he's won a gaming championship in the 80s and like he's always just hung on to that. Now he's like broke and depressed as his store is like dwindling down, and Jason Momoa's energy, the way he delivers his lines, also has that same sort of Jason Momoa energy where he delivers some of the stupidest lines in this movie, but delivered so well because of his performance. And so while there is bad elements of this movie, it is so fun when you watch it on screen. The movies look like visually, it's given this uncanny look. I actually think the CGI, the visual effects, are pretty good here. They did a pretty good job of capturing the world of Minecraft. But there's something about the live action characters as well as the CG animated Minecraft world combined together that never has like really mixed well. You could very clearly tell when they're on a green screen and all that. And it's this uncanny combination of live action and CGI. We are all making fun of that with the trailers. That is true when it applies to this movie. Also has themes that is trying to explore a little bit of emotion. It attempts with the creativity themes where you get the kid in the red jacket. I already forgot his name, but there's this kid in the red jacket in the movie that's a major part of it, who's like being bullied at school for being creative and for wanting to be like a rocket scientist. He enters this world where he gets to be creative, and it tries to explore this theme of it's okay to be out there, to be different, to be creative, and it's explored in the laziest way possible. It's kind of a side plot more so than a main actual plot, where that is kind of on the backbone. That's never really explored. The two siblings in it, which I don't buy into their relationship at all, by the way, but the two siblings in it are separated for a majority of this movie's runtime, and so it doesn't even have the opportunities of, like, his sister accepting him. So it's explored in, like, the absolute laziest possible way. But there are just several, on the positive end to it, on the counterbalance that, there are several just laugh out loud, hilarious moments, and even some crowd-pleasing moments. Like I said, the theater was applauding. I tell you what, there was several moments that had me and my friends just bawling out with laughter. There's a scene in the middle of it when Steve is introducing our characters in the Village Farms, and then Steve starts singing in the middle of it, and all of us just started laughing and looking at each other like, well, what is this? But we were all just having an absolute blast. And the applause and the crowd-pleasing moments absolutely made this thing so much better. I tell you, there's a line, there are actually several lines where the entire theater applauded. There's one line in particular, right before the final battle, that had the theater just erupting into applause for a good 30 seconds, I will say. There was a particular line there. I don't want to say what it is, just in case you haven't seen it, but there is just... It was outrageous what we were watching on screen. It was very, very entertaining. And that's kind of what movies are supposed to do. If a movie's job is to entertain you, this movie absolutely did its job for me. And if a movie theater experience, if you're supposed to have an absolute blast at the movies, if you're going to the movies for fun and you're trying to have a fun time, that is exactly what the theater experience for this movie offered. So, that's where the conflict of this review goes, where I am fully aware this is a bad movie with bad performances, badly explored themes, but I enjoyed every single second of it. I had an absolute blast in the theater watching this. It was very entertaining from beginning to end, and all of my friends seemed to feel the same way about the film. What did you think of the Minecraft movie?
Peak cinema.
There you have it, right there. Like I said, this is not a good movie, but it's a very entertaining movie. At the end of the day, I laughed, I was entertained, and I had a blast at the movies. So, overall, my final score on this one is a B-. If I average all of the different elements here, I'm going to give this movie a B-. I enjoyed this movie, although it has a lot of flaws. And I'll tell you, if you have kids that love Minecraft, or even just kids at my age who are on the internet too much, make sure you see this movie opening weekend in a packed theater. That's how you want to see this movie. I think that's partially maybe some of the reason why some of the critic reviews, early reviews that were at press screenings, were really negative about the film. But they were at critics-only screenings of the film. If you watch this opening weekend, like I did, in a theater filled with kids my age that are on the internet too much or play Minecraft too much, this is one of my top 3 best theater experiences, and I'm not lying when I say that. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the Minecraft movie. Fight me if you want to yell at me for giving this movie a positive review, but those are just my thoughts. Down below in the comment section, share what you thought of the Minecraft movie. Over on my channel, there's more content like this. Check those out right now. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. I'll see you in the next one.